We've all heard of the shadow self and working on the shadow self. Of course, that comes from Jungian psychology. And we can't move on in life, we can't be successful unless we look at our shadow self. A lot of stuff that we see out there is about working on the shadow self. The dark parts, I will reiterate, the shadow self, but only the ugly parts of our personality. Now, within this book, Franz Bardon talks about the good parts of our personality, which are equally hidden, which come under the umbrella of equally the shadow self. And he calls it the black and the white mirror of the soul. So it's called the soul mirror. The black parts of our personality are the things that will hold us back. And the good parts of our personality are the things that will empower us. So without further ado, let me read from Franz Bardon's book, Initiation into Hermetics. Today, we're going to focus on the black mirror and the white mirror, our soul mirror. Okay, so introspection or self-knowledge. In our own mansion, meaning our body and our soul, we must find our way about at every moment. Therefore, our first task will be to know ourselves. Each initiation system, no matter what kind it may be, will put this condition in the first place. Without self-knowledge, there will be no real development on a higher level. In the first days of psychic training, let us deal with the practical part of introspection or self-knowledge. Arrange for a magic diary and enter all the bad sides of your soul into it. This diary is for your use only and must not be shown to anybody else. It represents a so-called control book for you. In the self-control of your failures, habits, passions, instincts, and other character traits, you have to observe a hard and severe attitude towards yourself. Be merciless towards yourself and do not embellish any of your failures or deficiencies. Think about yourself in quiet meditation. Put yourself back into different situations of your past and remember how you behaved then and what mistakes or failures occurred in the various situations. We all get triggered by other people or situations in our external world. And understanding those triggers, really, you have to really go inward to understand the triggers. So think about yourself in quiet meditation. Put yourself back into different situations of your past and remember how you behaved and what mistakes or failures occurred in the various situations. Make notes of all your weaknesses, down to the finest nuances and variations. The more you are discovering, all the better for you. Nothing must remain hidden, nothing unrevealed, however insignificant or great your faults or frailties may be. Some especially endowed disciples have been able to discover hundreds of failures in the finest shades. Disciples like these possessed a good meditation, a deep penetration into their own souls. Wash your soul perfectly clean, sweep all the dust out of it. And he also talks in the book about when you have a shower, to wash and to cleanse all the parasites. Imagine all the astral parasites that you collected throughout the day, cleanse them away, both in the morning and in the evenings. This self-analysis is one of the most important magic preliminaries. Many of the occult systems have neglected it, and that is why they did not achieve good results. This psychic preliminary work is indispensable to obtain the magic equilibrium, and without it, there is no regular progress of the development to be thought of. Therefore, you ought to devote some minutes' time to self-criticism in the morning and at night. If you have got the chance of some free moments during the day, avail yourself of them and do some intensive thinking, whether there are still some hidden faults anywhere, and if you discover them, record them on the spot so as not to forget a single one. Whenever you happen to find out any deficiency, do not delay to note it immediately. If within a week you do not succeed in discovering all your faults, spend another week on these inquiries until you have definitely established your list of offences. Having achieved this problem within 1 or 2 weeks, you have reached the point to begin with a further exercise. Now, by intensive thinking, try to assign each fault to one of the 4 elements. Appoint a rubric in your diary to each element and enter the faults into it. You will not feel sure of which elements some of the faults are to be assigned. Record them under the heading of indifferent. In the progressing development, you will be able to determine the element corresponding to your deficiency. For instance, you'll ascribe jealousy, hatred, vindictiveness, irascibility, I haven't got a clue what that means, and anger to the fiery element. Frivolity, self-presumption, boating, I don't know what that means either, squandering and gossiping to the element of air. Indifference, laziness, frigidity, compliance, negligence, shyness, insolence, and instability to the watery element. Laziness, lack of conscience, melancholy, irregularity, anomaly, and dullness to the element of earth. In the following week, you will meditate on each single rubric, dividing it into 3 groups. In the first group, you will enter the biggest failures, especially those that influence you strongest or happen at the slightest opportunity. The second group will embrace faults occurring less frequently and in slighter degree. In the last group, you are recording those faults that happen only now and again. Go on doing so with the indifferent faults too. Work conscientiously at all times. It is worthwhile. Repeat the whole procedure with your good physical qualities, entering them into the respective categories of the elements. Do not forget the 3 columns here as well. For example, you will assign activity, enthusiasm, firmness, courage, and daring to the fiery element. Diligence, joy, dexterity, kindness, lust, and optimism to the air element. Modesty, abstemiousness, answers on a postcard, please. Fervency, compassion, tranquility, tenderness, and forgiveness to the water element, and respect, endurance, conscientiousness, thoroughness, sobriety, punctuality, and responsibility to the earth element. By doing so, you will get 2 so-called psycho mirrors, a black one with the evil qualities and a white one with the good and noble character traits. These 2 magic mirrors are correct occult mirrors, and none but the owner has any right to look into them at all. Let me repeat once more that the owner must endeavour to elaborate his magic mirrors precisely and conscientiously. If in the course of the development he should remember any good or bad quality, he can still record it under the respective headings. These 2 magic mirrors will allow the magician to recognise rather exactly which of the elements is prevailing in his black or white mirror. This recognition is absolutely necessary to attain the magic equipoise, and the further development depends on it. And all of this training, it's self-development basically, and that's what magic is. It's development to bring out your natural abilities, your natural psychic abilities, and it is hard work. And you know how the saying goes: anything that is worthwhile is not going to be an easy road. And the thing with mirror work is, I'm going to call it mirror work instead of shadow work. Actually, mirror work is it's an ongoing process, as he states in the book. And the reason why it's important to look at both your negative and positive traits is because it's about balance. Everything is about balance. And if you were bad heavy, if your negative traits, imagine the negative parts of your personality, like procrastination, like laziness, the things that hold us back in life. If you are spending too much time concentrating on the negative, then you're never going to move forward. You're never going to have the confidence to move forward because you're focusing on those negative traits of your personality. And unfortunately, we are predisposed to concentrate on the negative, our self-talk, highlighting the negative, the self-doubt. And it's actually very self-sabotaging. It's all about balance, the negative and the positive combined will make you a whole person. I hope you found value in this video. Comment on you know what we've talked about here. You're good, you're bad. If you are also guilty of self-sabotage. And yes, thank you for listening. I'll speak to you all soon, guys. Bye.